Cool. Good stuff. Anyway, I want to talk about the beach that makes you old.
Okay.
Parentheses. Excuse me, what?
Old?
Do you want to talk about old?
Parentheses. Let's stand around in circles and talk about theories about maybe what's happening on this beach.
And the jobs that we have.
Yeah. Oh, boy. So this is M. Night Shyamalan.
Yes, he's back.
He's back and he's in this movie.
A bit.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
And this
What do you think the story was?
Oh, jeez. Well, it's based on a graphic novel,
Yes.
which I didn't read.
Sandcastles or something?
Something like that.
Yeah.
So it's not is this M. Night Shyamalan's first thing that he hasn't written?
That's a great question.
Isn't it, though?
Last Airbender, probably not.
Oh, yeah, he didn't write the last Airbender.
Yeah.
That makes sense. He might have written the script, but he doesn't. He didn't.
I wouldn't.
To the best of my
I
knowledge,
wouldn't
he
say
didn't.
that I did that if I did it.
To the best of my knowledge, he didn't invent the concept of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I think he did.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Good on him. Anyway, there's a family,
Yep.
and they go on. They're like, oh, we found this holiday spot.
Yeah. I believe the line is, can you believe I found this online? Where else would you have found it? Don't you think, like, I'd be weirder if you didn't. If
Yeah.
you're like, can you believe I found, like, a book in a forest and it had this, like, then I'd be like, that is weird, yeah.
Can you believe we touched this isotope? We were transported to this holiday destination. Yeah, so they heard about this beach. They heard about this resort.
Yep.
And they go to the resort and they're welcome to the resort and there's other people there and
It's got White Lotus vibes if you watch that show.
And then the what do you call it? What's the guy? Is it a hotel?
Concierge?
Concierge. He's like,
Yeah.
hey,
Hotel management.
tell you this much. Why don't you go to a beach? It's a special secret beach. I don't tell everybody about it, but you can go to the beach if you want. And then they go to the beach with a bunch of other people.
Yep.
Turns out that it's a beach that makes you old, but how does it make you old?
The Rocks.
Rocks are magic, I think.
I want to do spoilers because we know what it is. It's about a beach that makes you old.
Can we talk? No, we don't have to do spoilers just yet.
Why not?
Because I just want to make fun of it without spoiling it yet.
Okay. But wait, just so you know, you would know that we're going to cover about how it makes people old.
Yeah, we are. Don't worry about
spoilers.
that. If you think, folks, that we're not going to cover why this beach makes you old, if you think we're not going to do that, we're going to review this entirely without telling you how the beach makes you old.
I thought this was so funny. And just
But not intentionally, right?
Some of it. But like even the opening parts where like they're with the families in the van together and she's like, man, I love your voice. I can't wait till you grow up and I get to hear what your voice is like when you grow up. Don't let life pass you by.
Exactly. Similarly, let's savor every moment and not get old.
Look how big you guys are getting.
You're
But not too big. Don't go to a beach that makes you old.
It's just, you know, sometimes on Twitter you'll see somebody go, I fed every Seinfeld script into a bot and then it made its own episode or whatever. And you go, I don't think you really fed every episode of Seinfeld into a bot and made an episode. I think you just wrote that and you tweaked it a little bit so it sounds like it was made by an AI. I think this movie was written by an AI. I think they really got all every piece of M. Night Shyamalan dialogue and they put it into a
They put the happening in maybe 2 to 3 times.
Yeah, and then they put it in there and then it just spouted all this dialogue. This is AI built dialogue to the extent, and we'll get to why the beach makes you old, obviously. But there was a moment to this. This is a spoiler only in the sense this isn't what does happen. This is what doesn't happen in the beach that makes you old. I thought that maybe the reveal would be that everybody was an AI in this movie. At the end, it'd be like, well, you thought you were getting old because of magic rocks that make you old or whatever, but actually it's because the processor that was running your AI made you old or something. And I'd be like, of course, because none of these people talk like real human beings.
Yeah.
You all talk like weird robots. M. Night Shyamalan's dialogue is getting worse.
Maybe.
But he hasn't done anything since Glass.
No, since Glass, no.
Okay.
No.
All right.
But
It's so, all of it's so odd, weird and stilted, and there's good actors in here.
I agree.
I loved seeing Rufus Sewell again.
Oh, yeah, from Dark City.
Yes.
And Knight's Tale.
And Gods of Egypt probably is in
and
that.
other
I don't know if
things,
he's in that.
definitely,
Maybe he's not in that.
Like, I've just written here, God, these characters. So there's an Instagram model woman who's who is married to Rufus Seal.
Yeah.
The Roof Seal. And
Roof.
local reference, don't worry about it. But
dated local reference.
Yes, she's an Instagram model with a daughter, and her first line is like, "What? Don't slouch. Do you not want to be attractive or get boys to like you?" And I'm like, that's a parody of a person. What do you?
Yeah, right.
What do you?
What
do
she's
you
telling
mean?
a 6-year-old daughter, or however old she is.
And at the same time that's happening, one of the lead kids is just walking around to everybody in the resort going, "What's your job? What's your job?" And I'm like, geez, I wonder if that's going to come up. I was going to say later. It comes up multiple times where people are just like, this is my job. I'm a heart scientist. I'm telling you, something's going on.
I've looked at every heart in the world. He's like a tiny little exposition divining machine, I guess. Yeah.
Like an AI.
Yeah. See? Or a little stand-up comedian who's doing crowd work. Hey, what's your name? What do you do? Oh, I'm working in a bloody office. Bloody ever photocopy your bum? The office party? I know things. I've never worked in an office.
And there's like little things like there's a rapper in it called Midsize Sedan. And I know that's a joke, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's just not very creative.
Okay, sure.
As a joke, you know what I mean?
Look, I wouldn't. There could be, these rappers and bands have strange names, James. I don't know if you're aware
I guess
of that.
they do.
But yeah. But I mean, it's also that's something we'll have to cover in spoilers, I think.
Yeah.
The presence of the rapper Midsize Sedan.
Also, he was there for too long. Because he'd already been there with his girlfriend at the beach.
Sure.
Like in the morning. He was there at sunrise or whatever.
Yeah.
By the time they get there, it doesn't seem like that guy doesn't age at all. And they reference and they're like, well, good thing we're bloody African Americans. We're not aging as much, are we, or whatever. It's like, yeah, you just didn't want to put the old man makeup on him. I know what's going on here. And so I don't know what else. What else are we going to do before we do the things that unfold on the beach?
I think we'll have to. No, I think that's pretty much it. It looks nice. I thought it looked
beautiful looking.
I think it's a beautiful looking movie. Like it's slightly, the whole movie is slightly overexposed, but I think that's the point. It's supposed to look like this island paradise where the sun is just a little too bright. Yeah. Again, which led me to be like, is this an AI? We all in a simulation? Currently, am I in a simulation? Probably.
Probably, maybe.
Probably not though.
Nah, probably not. I mean, who cares ultimately? I told you how I told my class once about that we might be living in a simulation.
No, you didn't tell me that.
Well, no, they were talking about existence or whatever.
Okay.
And something
How old are these children?
Like grade 4 or 5 maybe.
Too young to tell
I
children.
agree. And then it came up and I'm like, okay, I'm going to explain this to you, right? Because you're asking me.
Okay.
But just want you to know, I don't think we're living in a simulation. I don't want you to go home and tell your parents that your teacher told you that nothing's real.
Yeah.
I just want to clarify that this is not something I think is real. This is a theory. And so, no, I never got any pushback on that, thank God. Because kids are having an existential crisis.
Yeah.
They're not real. Anyway.
It looks nice. I enjoy the work of the actors in it.
Yep.
In other projects. But I thought this movie was a weird mess, and it makes no sense. None of it makes any sense.
I'm sure
it's been done to death in other reviews because we are way late to the party. But my goodness,
I had such a fun time though.
Yeah, it's
so fun. It's so, and just and the first, so they find a dead body.
Wait, are we spoilers?
Yeah, spoilers.
Okay,
best movie ever.
Best movie ever.
I loved it.
Woo!
I loved it, Mason.
The beach that makes you old. Let's all get on the beach that makes you old. So spoilers.
Spoilers.
No, okay, I guess the reason the beach makes you old.
Yeah,
because the rocks are magic.
It's got magic beach rocks.
So there's we're in a sort of
cove.
A cove, good. You're good with the words today because I'm bad with the words currently. But we're in a cove and it's got big rocks surrounding it.
Yeah.
And
what do you do?
The rocks make you old. There's no more explanation than that.
Yeah.
For it's just some radiation and it ages you up. Every 30 minutes you age a year. Is
something
that right?
like that. And but it's also at the same time, it's like, well, your hair doesn't grow because.
Yes.
Because the hair's already dead.
Because it's dead tissue, yeah.
So some people go grey and some people don't.
Yeah.
But I'm like, well,
as
someone who is grey, I want to know what's going on, Mason.
And some kids grow up and they have 5 o'clock shadow. So why did their hair
That's a good point.
grow or not grow? But I mean, that's obviously because otherwise everybody would have 2 foot long, 3 foot long hair.
Yeah.
And they have to explain it or whatever.
But they did explain it. Luckily, they sorted it out.
Luckily, they sorted it out. Genius.
But so they immediately find a dead body of Midsize Sedan's girlfriend who was there.
Yeah.
It's not an aged up body. It's just a dead body at this point. Mm-hmm. He seems not that fussed by it. And neither does anybody else because their immediate reaction is, let's call it in. Let's get back.
Uh-huh.
They were just sitting on the beach like, man, dead bodies, am I right? I think they found a dead body over there. And it's like, you should move. You should start moving in a direction. But they can't leave the beach anyway because when you walk through the exit, you get a headache and you black out. But before you black out, you
walk back to the beach, I guess.
Back to the beach.
Yeah. But at one point they're like, hey, maybe we could slowly.
Yeah.
Like maybe it's like
acclimatize.
Maybe it's like coming up from the underwater if we do it slowly. But then they just don't.
Yeah. Well, there's another thing I thought they were going to do.
Yes.
Because I don't know if you noticed this, they send a bunch of food with them. M. Night
Yeah.
Shyamalan's like, here's a bunch of food because you don't know how bloody
Kids
hungry
will eat a
kids
lot
will
of
get.
food, yeah.
Because your kid's going to be 60 tomorrow. So
Sure.
they're going to need a lot of food.
They're going to need 40, 70 years of food or whatever.
But the food keeps. The food doesn't spoil.
Yep.
Because it's in special, like, silver packaged whatever.
So what you're saying is they should
Make
have all
a
gotten-
suit out of it,
make
yes.
a suit out of it.
It would have worked.
Yeah.
It 100% would have worked. Am I right?
No, you're right. You're
Yeah.
probably right, yeah.
But they don't do
You
that.
get in the esky and then you get someone to drag you out.
But what they end up doing is swimming through magic coral. No, regular coral.
regular coral, yeah.
But it's the way out.
Yes.
And then you can. Anyway, the reason the beach makes you old is neither here nor there.
Wait, can we cover some more stuff?
Oh, definitely. I was just going to explain like why they were doing any of it.
2 6-year-olds grow up and have a baby, and that's gross
That's
and
so
weird.
fucked up. Like it's such a weird.
But then it doesn't amount to anything.
No, because the baby dies immediately because they put it down for a second or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's also so they're 2 6-year-olds and they grow up and they're lying together. And to kind of get around that they have the minds of 6-year-olds, it's like, I feel very grown up now. I don't feel like I used to feel before or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they have a baby. And it's just really, it's just not very cool.
You could have maybe had one of the adults be pregnant.
No, the other thing.
Weird thing, yeah.
One of them is pregnant with a football-sized tumor.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that he cuts it. That was a big noise, wasn't it?
No, I heard the big noise.
What was that?
It's probably people coming to your door to applaud how good this podcast is. Just a mob of people with torches and pitchforks. And they're like,
We love this. Kill
sorry,
him.
Sorry, this seems threatening. It's just how we celebrate in our religion.
Yeah.
At one point, a man is stabbed with a rusty thing.
Yep.
And he gets poisoned by rust and he dies.
Yep.
But then, like 3 scenes prior, somebody gets surgery done on him, and everybody's putting their dirty fingers in their body.
Oh, yeah, that's
to bloody because you can't if you cut somebody open to do surgery on them, it'll close straight away because of the time in the beach that makes you old. So they're like, all right, everybody get in there and hold this thing open.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they die of infection?
Great question. Also, because like that wound would be open for
Decades.
yeah.
Yeah. Or
You know what I
something.
mean?
Or years, months.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I thought we talked about this before. I thought the main woman went deaf and the husband went blind
Yes.
because there's a moment where like I think he's being attacked and she doesn't notice or something like that.
Yeah.
But they have a conversation later, so I don't know whether I've just misread that.
Or maybe it's a metaphor for how, couples don't listen to each other.
And one
Don't see each other.
And one cheats or whatever.
Yeah, or something, yeah.
Or something. I wasn't really listening when they were talking about their feelings, to be honest.
Because the parent...
I was thinking about that baby that died from lack of attention or whatever they said.
Bit of a distraction.
Yeah.
Because the two parents are gonna be divorced. They want to show their children a
good time.
A good time. One last time.
Good time, not a long time though.
Good time, not a long time, and not a weird 2 6-year-olds growing up time. 'Cause that's bad. They shouldn't have had that.
Yeah, I've written here. Okay, something. I've written here. That woman had bonitis. Do you remember the episode of Futurama where
the 80s guy?
I'd freeze the guy from the 80s and he has bonitis and he never cures bonitis and all his bones break?
Yeah. And at the end, he's like, my only regret was that I had bonitis, and then he dies.
This woman definitely had bonitis, right?
Yeah.
So what's the reason behind people dumping people in the beach that makes you old?
Okay, so because it's an M. Night Shyamalan movie and he appears to be in this stage of his creative process, he's decided there's a secret organization.
Yep.
And what they need to do, they're testing out. Actually, we should explain it. Okay, so everybody dies on the beach except for the 2 kids, and then the 2 kids they swim through the coral to escape.
Because he got a secret note from a boy.
That's right, in a code.
Yeah. But he couldn't figure it out when he was a little boy, but now that he's a man who had a baby.
So anyway, they escape through the coral, and then there's a glint from across the cove of the beach that makes you go old.
Yeah.
Earlier in the movie, and the kids are like, "What's that? I see a glint over there. Maybe that'll be important later." And then everybody dies, and then the 2 kids swim away, and then over on the other side of the cove, the glint turns out to be a guy with a camera.
It's M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, with a telescope.
Yeah.
And
he's making sure they're all dying on the beach.
And he's like, we got them. They're all dead. Terrific. Test number 73 is complete. Everybody's dead because that's what we do. We've done this heaps of times. And then it turns out that there's a company. They're like a pharmaceutical company.
Yep.
And they're testing out various. They bring people to the beach that makes you go old, and they all have various afflictions, like various
mental or physical.
Yeah.
I thought the dude had Alzheimer's, but he had a
swollen butt.
no, the guy with a knife who was trying to stab everybody.
Oh.
He had a mental health
Yeah,
condition.
schizophrenia maybe.
Yeah, okay, right. Yeah.
But anyway, so they bring people to the beach.
I looked up that Marlon Brando movie as well.
On the beach.
Jack Nicholson. You know.
Oh yeah, right.
Anyway,
right,
so go on.
So they bring him to the resort. Then they secretly dose him with a medication that is designed to treat their illnesses.
Yes.
And then they send him to the beach that makes you go old to see what happens over a lifetime when you take that medication. So the idea is
if you have seizures and you don't have any seizures when you're there, that means it works.
Yeah, so the idea, the whole thing is that this organization has discovered the beach that makes you go old. They have decided to use that to do a lifetime of testing of particular drugs in a day.
Yes. But it doesn't also, it's interesting because
it raises many questions, doesn't it?
I thought
because the way you get the medication is because you've got a disease and you show up at the resort and they're like, here, have a cocktail that we've made for you, very special cocktail because of your preferences. You said you liked a fruity drink, so here's a fruity drink, right? And you drink it, and that's the medication. But what if you don't want it?
Yes.
Or like you there with your wife and you're like, now you try this drink and I'll try your drink. Great, like couples
which
do
would
it all the
happen,
time.
yeah.
And then you're cross-pollinating the medication.
It also means that it doesn't mean that you've increased your ability to genetically create things that prevent diseases.
Yeah.
That part's unrelated to the beach. The beach just speeds up the process.
Yes.
But so it doesn't actually aid you in making what you need to make.
Yes.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Also, what data are you getting?
Are they plugged into something?
It's just M. Night Shyamalan on a ridge with a camera. What are you getting from this? Look, they went old.
I mean, they had their vitals, so presumably they were monitoring them somehow.
Maybe, I
But if
guess.
they had some kind of monitoring device on them, presumably that would break down over time as well. But he's
You
just
need a
taking
maintenance
notes.
guy to show up halfway through.
If you went in with an old school scuba
It seems
diver,
they got old and they died. Test complete. Because Glass was this as well. It was just like there's a secret organization. They're doing secret stuff.
Yeah.
You didn't even know about it.
I still don't know about it. Anyway, the kids,
Maybe you shouldn't have been so silly as to go to a beach.
the
You
kids,
idiots.
the kids got out though, didn't they?
They did.
The kids got out, and then they tell everybody. He goes up to the police officer, and he's like, "Are you a police officer?"
He's like, yeah, I've got jurisdiction over this beach, over this resort where I'm not
bad?
from here. Who am I arresting? What's going on?
The people who send people to
Oh,
the beach that makes
yeah.
you go old. Wouldn't there be more to learn from the aging process from the beach that makes you old?
I would think so.
That's what I think.
Maybe forget about the secret medication trials. Just
See what's up with that beach that makes you old.
Right.
There's one clip I wanted to show you because I'm pretty sure that bit where we go into the lab there's a CGI man in the background.
he's not real at all.
I'm pretty confident he's not real.
Here's a question for you.
I don't know.
No, you do. You'll know the answer to this because you're up on all the trends with the kids.
Okay.
Why would you send a famous rapper onto the beach that makes you
Yeah,
old?
great question. I don't know. I don't know.
Because, and again,
But they say that we sent a plane to them, personally, and then had picked them up.
Oh.
But they would have told somebody we're going. You don't tell nobody when you're going away.
We generally don't dip into real life conspiracy theories on this podcast, really. But generally, the reason I don't believe in conspiracy theories is the number of people involved to make a conspiracy theory happen.
Yes.
I don't believe that number of people would be so competent and so committed that nobody would ever make a mistake or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's always the secret is this, and it's wouldn't somebody involved tell their
Somebody
wife
would have
about
said
it, or
something,
or get drunk at a thing at the pub and tell their
I
friends?
would if I worked for the man who sends people to the beach that makes you old.
Yeah.
Tell
everybody. But it's the same thing here. It's we've sent hundreds of people to the beach that makes you old. None of them said anything.
Yeah.
None of them are missed by their friends or workmates or family,
Nah.
and they're like, "Oh, we covered it up." So did you?
In the
this rapper's he's probably got 1 billion Instagram followers. They're not going to wonder where he went.
You know the notepad?
Yes.
Who wrote the notepad again with all the names on it?
I don't know.
But didn't they find that on the beach that makes you old?
Oh yeah,
But did they know all the previous people who was at the beach?
the kids.
No, on the notepad because it had everybody missing in it.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, here's a
thought it was just
CGI
them.
person. Check this out. look, there's no reason for this person to be CGI, but they move weirdly. Okay. He's gonna appear here. Watch. This guy.
Oh, wow.
Is that a fake man?
Looked like a fake man. But as I haven't watched Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
But as I understand it, there is some debate on the internet over whether one of the main
Roy
characters
is real,
is an entirely CGI man, despite the fact that he's appeared in other things,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, he's a famous actor.
But that guy did look fake.
Yeah. Let's go
Were
again.
they like this?
Let's go again.
Like, this scene looks a little too empty.
I'm going to put it on Twitter, but look, he's probably real.
Sure.
But he moves weirdly, right?
Yeah.
We're going to go again. It's at 1:30.
1 hour and 30.
1 hour 30. 1 hour 31 and about 10 seconds.
Okay.
Probably more like 12. Here we go. Top right corner. Look at this man.
He's the man in the middle. Yeah, he looks like
He's probably real.
Yeah, but he looks like a GTA guy.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, the beach makes you old. Everyone gets arrested for using people at the old beach.
Yeah.
The beach.
Even though you'd be like, hey, I've got a list of people that they've made old with a beach.
Yeah.
The cop would be like, what?
And then they Jurassic Park out of there on the helicopter.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like, you got to do. How you spoke to your auntie? And she's like, how was she? She's like, how do you think she was? I was 6 and now I'm 50. What do you think, idiot?
Yep.
All right, good stuff.
Yeah, good.
All in all, I highly recommend this beach is making me old.
Yeah.
I want it said in the style of these pretzels are making me thirsty though.
Sure, yeah, yeah.
Did you like this though, really?
Yeah, kind of. But it's not good, is it? But here's
how much of this is like tongue in cheek though?
I don't think any of it is.
I don't know though, isn't it?
We'd have to read some interviews with M. Night Shyamalan,
Yeah.
I think. But even then, I don't know if it's true. But I feel like the reason that I was entertained by this and I hated Glass is because Glass is in my wheelhouse of like superhero stuff.
Yeah.
And the idea of just somebody absolutely mangling the concept of superheroes upset me.
Yeah.
But this, I don't care because I don't care about a beach that makes you old. I'm not an expert in a beach that makes you old or secret pharmaceutical companies that secretly dose people with pharmaceuticals and then send them to the beach that makes you old. I don't care about that. So maybe there are some aficionados. Maybe the people that read that original graphic novel are so mad about it.
I also think that like if you're on the beach that makes you old,
yes,
you'd panic way more.
Yeah.
There's so much just like, let's just sit for a minute.
Yeah.
And by a minute I mean years.
Yeah.
It's just I don't get it. I thought the casting was good for like as people were aged up.
Yeah, sure.
Really good. Anyway, should we move on to the next segment of the show?
Oh yeah, what are we reading?
What are we gonna read?
We're gonna read.
Put on my headphone.
Okay, you do that.
Just one?
You just one. You've only got one head.
That's true. Beach makes you old. I don't know about that. I don't know about that, Mason. I don't know about that.
Sounds like you're having second thoughts about the beach that makes you old.
I loved it.